This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Richard Riakporhe here in Loughborough. We've just seen Fernandez doing some form of a weird dance there behind us, but yeah, Richard, how's life treating you?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it. As I just said to Fraser, I'm glad I'm this side of the camera and not joining in on the session you guys have just had to go through. But yeah, here we are. Free agent status, Richard. Talk me through how it feels to be a free agent once again.
I'm actually not a free agent no more. Yeah, I'm not. I'm literally about to sign. I'm about to sign and some news is going to come out very soon. So yeah.
Richard, you know I'm going to attack this now with a full artillery. Who are you signing with?
I can't say, I can't really say at the moment because it's like, it's under wraps. It's pretty confidential matters right now.
There's got to be something you can give us, Richard.
Well, the promoter looks like a potato. That's all I can give.
I don't really know where to go with that one because I've never known a fighter call their promoter someone who looks like a potato.
Looks like a potato. That's all I can give.
Have you fought for this promoter previously?
No comment.
A bit of an interesting one then, Richard. Obviously, when I brought up free agent status, I saw you do an interview recently saying that you was no longer with BOXXER and Ben Shalom. Walk me through kind of the end of that contract.
I was joking. I'm signing again with BOXXER. Okay. I was just playing. But yeah, so yeah, we're pretty much nearly done now, and back on the sky. It's been a minute.
What's the plan there, Richard? We've just seen CBS get his chance with Lawrence Okolie coming up in May at Bournemouth. Is there a sense of frustration that Chris has just come over to the platform? You were one of the first better known profile fighters to sign with BOXXER, and yet you've seen Chris come along and get a crack at a world title before yourself. Is there a sense of frustration that's happening before you've had your opportunity?
No, I feel every dog has its day. It's just a matter of time. Everybody's got their own path. And, the stars aligned for Chris. He got his opportunity to fight for a title. Great for him. And, I wish him the best of luck. But me, I have my own path. I got my own plans. And it's always been that way. I've got a great team behind me. And we're in a great position. So sometimes you don't need to rush things. You just need to be patient and just take the time to work on your craft. Because it's all good getting an opportunity, but if you don't execute, when it's time to execute, then it all goes to waste. So it's all good. It's all good.
So in the new terms of your deal, what's the plan that BOXXER and Sky and Ben have set out for you?
Just world titles, man. World title opportunities, and which is what I wanted, and I'm very happy.
Seems to be a bit of a difficult one, even with that in mind. Looking at the cruiserweight champions, you've got Badu Jack, who's just signed with Skills Challenge Entertainment. Don't imagine him leaving Saudi Arabia to fight unless there's a hugely lucrative offer elsewhere. That rules him out. Gulamarian apparently wants very big money to travel away from home to fight and defend his title, which is what he was originally apparently the opponent CBS was looking at. And obviously Okolie CBS fighting next up. Bit of a difficult situation for yourself.
Yeah, we got some good news, and it's just a matter of time before he gets released. There's world title opportunities there, and in fact we're in such a good position where we got options. So I'm very happy. So it's just a matter of time before all the information it will be revealed, and everything is pretty much done. It's like we have great connections, confirmation, everything is there. So the world title opportunities will come, and I will be boxing for one this year.
Boxing for one this year, will your next fight be for a world title then?
Maybe.
Gotta try.
This year for sure.
Yeah. Walk me through your progression since you teamed up with BOXXER then. How would you judge your journey with them up until this point, and obviously re-signing with them, or what you're about to announce in re-signing with them?
Yeah, it's been excellent. We've had probably 5 fights now, I think, 5 or 6. Come through with flying colours. Looks good. Improved on every single opponent performance. and the opponents have been really good as well. It's been good. It's prepared me really well for what's coming up next. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy. They promised me activity. I've been the most active cruiserweight since, for a while, to be honest. So I'm pleased with that.
Richard, I saw your name was in the mix to fight CBS in Bournemouth before it was announced for Lawrence Okolie. Did those talks progress at all? How close, if at all, were you to potentially facing Chris?
Yeah, there was two opportunities where that fight could have been materialised. That was for the Chris Eubank versus Billam-Smith the first card. That failed to materialise for whatever reason, but I was bang up for it. I thought that would be great, good entertainment for the boxing fans. But for one reason or another, it didn't materialise. So we tried to make it again for Bournemouth. In fact, to be fair, I wanted it on neutral grounds. I thought it would be fair to have it on neutral grounds. And we're just in negotiations and stuff. And when Lawrence Okolie went on Sky and he called out, he wanted to make some fights, he called out Chris Billam-Smith. Chris Billam-Smith jumped at the opportunity straight away. And I think he was more keen on fighting him, not only because it was for a world title, but because of his poor performance prior. So he thought it's a no-brainer. And their team probably just jumped on that and told him, yeah, let's go through it. Because they probably know a lot of weaknesses of Okolie that probably we don't know.
Obviously, we saw that there was that viral clip that went round of yourself and Lawrence having somewhat of an engagement at a film premiere. Talk about the rivalry between the pair of you. How confident are you that at some point you will share the ring?
Yeah, I think it will happen very soon, very, very soon. I think in boxing, it's a bit annoying for the fans. I'm a boxing fan as well, even though I fight professionally. But a lot of fights don't get materialised, especially like the heavyweights. It's annoying. It's annoying. Even me watching, I'm like, what the hell's going on? And we want to kind of be an example. Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. That was just an example of how it should be. The fans were pleased. People put on the line, somebody lost. But to be honest, everybody's credibility and brand equity increased. Despite the loss. Everybody's talking about them now. They're known all around the world, and the pay-per-view sales reflected that. So it just only makes sense. It just makes sense that we mix it. We need to mix it. We have to mix it. I want to know. I want to finish my career and say, I mix it with the best. I believe that I was the best, and I proved it. So that's the mentality.
In London, how big of a fight could that be between you and Lawrence?
I think that's the biggest cruiserweight fight in the world. I can't think of any other fight that's bigger than that at the cruiserweight level, and a lot of people would say that. So it's the biggest fight in the world.
What did you make of his performance against David Lloyd? There was a lot of critics on the back of that one for Lawrence.
How can I put this? When I was watching it, and I got to like round 3, round 4, got on the phone, watched. Then I think it was around like 7, fell asleep, woke up, it was around 11. I thought, damn, this is dreadful. It was not exciting. It's just a lot of punching and holding, punch and hold, punch and hold, punch and hold. Saw it so many times where it just actually became cringe to watch it. And I'm not watching it from a hate point of view because I know that man, I should share the ring with him very soon. So I want him to perform well. That will help sell the fight even more. We make more money. It's a no-brainer, but that was frustrating to watch. Very frustrating. And I can imagine if I feel like that, imagine what the fans felt. That's why we saw the comments. It reflected that it was terrible. He was getting grilled.
We know he has kind of a very awkward style, but it's an effective style at that. If you was to picture yourself in the ring on that night instead of David Lloyd, how confident are you that it wouldn't become that type of fight? You wouldn't allow Lawrence to allow it to become a fight which would be beneficial to him?
No, I don't think you can do that with me. I'm too strong. I'm strong. I'm very strong. A lot of people, you can ask a lot of people that sparred with me, shared the ring with me. One thing they always say is they didn't realize how physically strong I am. Forget about my punching power. I'm very strong. You can't hold. I'll throw you to the ground if I have to. We can make it rough if we need to, if it need be. So I don't see that happening with me.
You mentioned earlier kind of one of the selling points of his fight with CBS is the former trainer partnership with Shane McGuigan. Obviously Shane will know him as well as anybody. What do you make of Okolie CBS, and how much of a factor will Shane McGuigan be in that fight?
It was quite interesting because he mentioned about a mental weakness in Okolie. He said he knows the mental weaknesses, and that was interesting. It probably reflects why he fights in the way he does. You know, punch, hold, punch, hold. You know, scared to take the fire. So maybe there is a type of issue, but nevertheless, he's been really effective. He's been doing his thing. He's world champion. He's been winning. He's undefeated. So that's also for a reason. So he's learned how to do what he needs to do to win.
I don't know what's going on here for Richard, but I'm hoping we're not about to be interrupted. But with that fight, then, who do you think comes out on top?
It's 50-50. It's a 50-50. Like, that's a pure 50-50 in my opinion, and that's because it's in Chris Billam-Smith's backyard. We all know Okolie for what he does. He has this old school style of boxing. It's more like the like early 900s. You know, just punch, grab, hold, like wrestling and boxing. It's not a fan attractive style. They don't like it. They don't like it. So not a fan friendly style. That's what I was meant to say. So he's gonna have to change up his style, which is gonna affect his whole style of boxing. It's gonna be weird and awkward for him. Every time he holds, you know, I feel like he's gonna get scrutinized, and they might just start deducting points from early. For the last fight, they deducted a point in the last round. But I think it's going to start from early doors, and I think Chris Billam-Smith and his team are going to play towards that from early doors. So I think, in my opinion, I think Okolie has to knock him out. For him to win, he has to knock him out. He has to knock him out because his style of winning is, you know, punching and holding, punching and holding, punching and holding, and he will grind his way out to a win. You know, after, you know, he doesn't have nothing else to bring to the fight. And if he's scrutinized for doing that from early, the fight's gonna be different. The fight has to be different. But at the same time, Chris Billam-Smith doesn't move his head, so he's just there for the shot. You know, I don't know if he's working on his head movement, but you know, from his last fights, he was just there to get hit. You know, he was there to land the big shot, and you don't want to stand in front of big punches like Okolie and myself. So yeah, we'll see.
Would you rather, in your shoes and in your case now, would you rather see Lawrence or CBS come out on top and have that potential All-London fight with Lawrence, or a potential rematch with CBS? Even though you beat CBS first time round, it'd have to be much bigger if there was a world title on the line, and if it was as entertaining, I'm sure people wouldn't say no to a potential trilogy there.
Me personally, if I had it my way, I would like to fight both of them on one night, because I think that would cement myself. That would cement my name in boxing history. Me fighting two world contenders, one world champion, sorry, and a world contender on the same night and beating them both. Who's done that? One and only Riakporhe, the Midnight Train. Can you imagine? The ring, that would sound amazing. That's how I would like it. I like to challenge myself.
Sadly, Richard, I don't think the board will allow you to fight two men. I don't think the board will allow.
In the amateurs, I used to do that. I fought twice in one night, a few times.
In amateur, I can imagine, but I don't imagine they'd let you have two 12-round fights, or schedule, sorry, two 12-round fights on the same night for you.
Back in the days, they used to do 50-round fights. In fact, they used to do fights where you have to win by a knockout. You know this, right? Unlimited rounds. Yeah, we can take it there. And we have a break in between. I can refuel. It's cool.
Listen, I'm sure everybody would love to see that one, Richard, but just kind of sticking with that cruiserweight scene. One man I forgot to mention was kind of somebody who had his breakout year last year in Opetaia. Still waiting to see when he's going to return after that tremendous victory to become the IBF champion. Where's he currently sitting in your talks?
Yeah, Opetaia is in a weird position right now. The last I've heard of him, he was returning to a fight. He had a date in March or May. He suffered an injury, had to do a minor operation in his shoulder. Then he had contractual issues with his ex-promoter. He won the case, but now his promoter's suing him for like $1 million. If I was getting sued for $1 million, I don't think I'll be in the right frame of mind to be training, because I'll just think in the back of my mind I'll be always thinking about it. It's quite dangerous, to jump in the ring like that against like proper contenders that are like hungry. So I don't know about his situation right now. I think he's in a tough situation. We saw with Okolie, with his last fight, he had a lot of things going on in and around the ring which people don't know about, but I knew through the grapevine, and that 100% contributed to his performance. So I believe it's tricky. I won't be surprised if like he vacates the title and wants to fight the winner. We can even fight for that title, me and Masterneck. That's cool. That'll be fun. But I like the idea of beating a man, but I don't know, man. It's tough for him. He had a broken jaw as well on two sides, man. Them injuries don't take, they don't heal. It's never the same. But he's not gonna understand until he jumps in the ring. Someone punches him in the jaw with 10-ounce gloves on, the puncher. So
it's an interesting point you make, because I spoke to Josh Warrington about a month ago, and he said when he lost his world title to Luis Alberto Lopez, it was on the back of his win against Kiko Martinez, where he broke his jaw in the last round. And against Lopez, he said like he could feel him being a bit more cautious because he didn't know how he'd feel when he started kind of feeling leather against his jaw. So it's obviously it is a fair point to make.
It affects you mentally. I don't care how strong you say you are, how much of a dog you are. There's such thing as PTSD. It's like trauma. You're like, I don't want to experience that again. Imagine what he went through. Imagine the operations that he had, how long he was in the hospital, how he couldn't eat properly, etc. So it's tough. Me personally, if I was managing him, I'll stay clear of all punches. Simple business. Stay clear of all the punches. And that's why I feel like when I called them out, they wasn't trying to respond like that. And I'm not the guy to kind of pick on weak fighters. I'm not gonna get no satisfaction on beating guys that have all issues going on. I'm just gonna be. I'll do it more for the fans, my coach, and then I'm like, yeah, what's the next challenge? I won't take anything from it. But look, I'm ready to smoke all of these guys anyway. Like every single one of them. Like they have to watch out. I'm telling you, man. I'm hungry. You seen the way we were training, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
like I said, I'm glad that you guys are not.
Scary, isn't it? It's scary. I was just thinking, man, I would be. Man, I wouldn't want to fight me. It's long.
Have you ever thought, and like, listen, you're a big guy, you're quite a lean guy, a future heavyweight, maybe dip your toes?
I'm going heavyweight. I'm going to smoke them heavyweights as well. I know I can do it.
How far off would you say that is for you?
Just a few whole meals of Nando's, whole chickens of Nando's and some chips and mashed potatoes, and bang, I'm heavy. Easy.
Looking at obviously the top of that division, the heavyweight division, where would you currently, if you could place yourself in and amongst contenders in there, where would you currently sit yourself with top 10? So in and around, say, the Dillian Whites, for Joseph Parkers?
Top 10, 100% top 10. 100%, I slip right in there. You know why? Because I got an IQ now. I know what I'm doing. I've been through things in the ring, I understand, like I've got the experience now. I know what to expect, what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are. I know me. So I know how to maneuver myself around there. I know the power that I have, I know the power, I know what I could do, and I know the damage I can do. And plus, I think one of the most important things is the speed. The speed of us cruiserweights, I don't think people realize how fast we are. And moving up as well, that's the first thing they're gonna notice, like the speed and the slowness of the heavyweights. I think it would be easier because it would be easier to anticipate and to react off that. I would if I can get off my counter punches in cruiser with these fast guys. Just imagine me throwing my counter punches with these heavyweights. They're not gonna know what hit them.
Just before I let you go, obviously, we've always other topics to touch on. One thing I'm interested to get your thoughts on is your relationship and learning under Angel Fernandez. Walk me through what Angel's brought to your game, Richard.
Angel has helped me to perceive boxing in a different light, understand different elements of boxing, focus on the fundamentals, the simple things, but drilling them a lot, again and again, because it's one thing to know what to do, and as fighters we know a lot, but it's another thing to be able to do it and to be able to execute it. There's a lot of conditioning that needs to go behind it, and certain fighters can know this is what they need, but their coaches would always have their own plan, and that would override whatever the boxer wants to do. But me and Angel, we got a great relationship. I'll tell him this is what I need to work on this, so he will adapt the whole session to me whilst implementing and implementing his strategy and what he wants me to do and to be able to work on. So it's a perfect partnership. I think the first fight, a lot of people were like iffy, I don't know if that link up is great with Richard, but now everything has changed. Everybody's seen the improvement. They've seen the intentions behind my punches now, the spite. They've seen the belief now. You can tell my body language though, in the lead up to fights, I'm just cool, relaxed. I just know what I'm capable of. I know me now. I know what type of fighter I am. There's nothing going on in my mind. Or I'm this, I'm that. I know exactly who I am, and I know exactly who I need to be a certain type of fighter. So, and that's helped me. That's how much Angel's helped me. So, which is, big shouts out to Angel.
What was it like initially, in that initial phase, when you was training here alongside Anthony Joshua? Was it difficult to kind of schedule in your time with Angel? Was there always ways around it? What was that like?
He was, Angel has a good schedule. He knows how to organize himself really well, so it wasn't really an issue. Obviously, AJ had long slots because he would be working on different things. He has his physios, and we were just pretty much in and out. Our sessions are not too long because we just work on certain things, and that's it. I think when you do long sessions like that, it just it makes you kind of mentally lethargic, to some extent. So yeah, but yeah, it was pretty simple. It was not bad at all.
Since then, obviously, we've seen a bit of a fallout between AJ and Robert Garcia now, and obviously Robert would have been up here training with Angel, and AJ kind of being unhappy with some of the comments back and forth. AJ being unhappy that Robert suggesting he didn't take criticism very well. Just want to get your thoughts when you was in and amongst it. Was AJ not one to take criticism on board?
I was in and around it, but I wasn't in the camp like that where I was in the conversations that they were having and stuff like that. I was focusing on myself and my career as a fighter. I had fights coming up, and more times I was always training. Like since he was here, I had like 2 fights like back to back whilst he was here. So I was always in camp, always learning, sparring and stuff like that. I had no time to focus on anyone else but myself. But it's normal to have like conflict sometimes. I can imagine there must have been some issues, but it's a normal thing. There's always going to be conflict. It can't be all harmony all the way through. There's always going to be some issues occurring here and there.
Richard, just before I let you go, after this weekend just gone, we saw a huge fight out in America. Gervonta Davis stopping Ryan Garcia in the 7th round. I just want to get your reflections on that one for me, please.
Yeah, big shouts out to Ryan. A lot of people were getting at Ryan saying that he quit, could have got up. These people don't have a clue. They actually do not have a clue about boxing. They don't know nothing about boxing. When you get hit with a body shot to the liver, it shuts down your whole system. You need time to recover. And it's just science. It's nothing to do with will and desire and stuff like that. If you get a good shot, if they land a good shot on you on your liver, you are finished for a period of time. And if you get up, it's just a matter of time before they finish you. And he just knew that he needed to recover. He probably was going through some excruciating pain where he had his poker face on and he looked like he can, but he was finished. It was just like when Luke Campbell received a shot from, his whole face went like blue. Everybody saw it. He couldn't get up. just like Garcia, he couldn't get up. That's what I believe. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm him, but if these boxing fans, you know, think that he could have got up, how about this? You come to the gym and you take a body shot, not from me, because I think that would do different type of damage, but somebody else, just let them aim and land that shot there. And
Kieran Malloy?
good luck. No, definitely.
I'm trying to think of the smaller guys in the gym, because you and Fraser are up, like obviously your cruiser, Fraser's heavy, Kieran's a bit further down but in weight, but yeah, I'm trying to think.
Someone smaller, like a smaller fighter. Let them land a shot like that, something like a flyweight or something like that, and just see how it feels. They'll be gasping for air. They'll be like, yep, that's me, done. And imagine if it's smashing the ribs as well, if it's cracking the ribs in the process. It's a different story. You don't even know. You don't even know what's going on. So it's good to just, you know, try to understand what happened there. Do your research. I know a lot of people like to have opinions and, you know, just they regurgitate other people's opinions and they think it's their own. They don't know what's going on. You know, do your research and find out. Like, I think it was a great fight. He did really well. Gervonta did even better. And yeah, he just needs to go back to the drawing board and learn what he you know, what he did wrong and how to improve. I think he was too eager. He's too eager. You know, when you're going against power punches, when you're just pressing them too hard, you have to be careful. You have to be careful. Just like we can box in a certain type of way. And you've probably seen that in my fights. I'll lay back. You might see I lose a couple rounds here and there, but it's just the way. It's just what we know we possess, and we know we just need one good shot, which is why the box is the way he does. Why I box the way I do. But even though I'll push myself to box and to throw more shots, but I just know I just need to land one shot on you, and that's with any hand. It could be left, it can be right, and it'll be the end or the beginning of the end. I'm so confident with it. I just know I'm gonna do it with 12 rounds. I'm gonna land 100%. I'm gonna land, and that gives you a different type of confidence. But if you don't have power, then it's a different story. But that pressing, he was doing too much of the pressing. You know, Israel Adesanya, he said he was walking. He wasn't knocking on the door. He was just walking in and just with his shoes. You know, not even cleaning his feet on the mat. You know, it's too eager. You need to knock on the door. You need to see who's there, who's inside. You don't know. They might come with some bazooka. You know, in that case, that was the case for that fight. So, but yeah, well done to both.
All right, Richard, just before I let you go, because your team's left you, and I imagine they're all going to refuel now. Just a final message from you to the cruiserweight division. Take it away.
First of all, let me give a shout out to Loughborough University. Big shouts out to Joe Simpson and to Rich Ellis. They're putting this amazing facility here, the Boxing Centre of Excellence, and you know they're building champions here. It looks quite aristocratic, you know, an environment. It's not that typical rough gym in Southeast London, which I'm used to, but it's nice. They looked after us. They've given us everything that we need to you know to become what we want to become, what we desire to become. So. You know, big shouts out to them and thank you. And also, the cruiserweight division is on notice. You know, I'm coming for all of you guys. You know, you're on notice. It's just a matter of time.
Richard Riakporhe, thanks for speaking to me in Boxing News.
Sweet.